everybody, I'm Mr. Irri and welcome back to Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Expert Mode. Oh yeah, this episode I want to build something so awesome, guys. Yeah, you guys are going to see in just a second, but first we're going to have to build a machine to then power this thing that we're going to make. And it's kind of expensive. I'm not going to lie, it is expensive, but we should have everything that we need. I have gone off camera and done a little bit of mining off it here. As you can see, we've got some coal dust, which I've already gone through the macerator. And I've got 2 stacks of coal dust, got some more copper, iron. I've got a ton of copper actually smelting on our smelter outside. So we're going to need some copper gears for the things that we're going to make. But our tools are holding up very well. Our steam engine here needs a little bit more coal, which I have gone and got off camera as well. I've got some more coal, so hopefully this steam engine should keep going. Our power demands are not too bad. It's actually keeping up, so I'm going to keep with the steam engine for now. But I think when we get the 2 items that I'm going to make on this episode, I think it may drain quite a bit of power. I'm not going to lie, but I think it may drain quite some power. So without further ado, let's get on with this. I have slept through the night. So the first thing I want to do is I had a look at our coke oven, and I've literally gone ahead, and as you can see in here, I've made ourselves a potion shelf with these glass bottles, because our actual coke oven was full of this creosote oil, and I was like, oh dear, I need some creosote or coal coke. And yeah, it wouldn't burn because the actual internal buffer was completely full, so I just had to go and convert them into glass bottles. And then I thought to myself, yeah, it's not going to last too long. I mean, we've got 64 buckets of this creosote oil, and I don't really want to keep putting it in glass and putting it on our potion shelf. So I thought, let's go and do something completely different. So in our crafting station here, you'll see I've already put the recipe of some steel. I've got some pressure plates, weighted pressure plates, which is only 2 iron ingots, and a cauldron, which is just 7 iron plates. And this will get ourselves a drum from Extra Utilities, and this will hold up to 256,000 millibuckets of whatever liquid you want. You can put lava in this, you can put oil in this, you can put any sort of liquid, I believe, in a drum. So it's 256 buckets worth of whatever liquid of your choice. So I'm going to use this drum, and I had a look to see if there was any way we could literally pull the creosote oil out of this automatically into our drum. And most of the conduits that you normally use from like thermal expansion or from Ender.io, they require quite expensive materials, and we don't have the machines to then go and grab those materials. The only thing I could think of is a Buildcraft pipe, which if we take a look at a fluid, if we type in fluid like so, we're going to need ourselves a wooden pipe, fluid pipe, which is just a wooden transport pipe, which we already have, but it's just getting this pipe silicon or sealant, and it's either a cactus green or a beeswax. And we don't really have any cactuses. We can get cactus seeds, which I don't think we've got, and we can get tiny cactus, and I've just gone and had a look around here, and I cannot find any cactuses whatsoever. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to manually take it out of here using our bucket and just throw it into our drum. I don't know why this is. This should turn colour to the actual liquid colour. It should turn like a brown, but I'm not too sure. I think there's like some sort of visual glitch going on here. Not too sure why that is, but this should be, yeah, there we go. We're now pulling out the creosote oil into this drum, so we can pull it out of this drum like so when we need it to make any more like industrial, or not industrial, I completely forgot. It's immersive engineering. If we need immersive engineering or railcraft, we can just come back here and just take out this drum. We have plenty of it there. So I wanted to get that out the way with, so we can get some more of this coal coke. Actually, that reminds me, I should really go and put some more coal in this thing just to cook up, because we're going to need some coal coke for our actual blast furnace here to go and smelt down some more actual steel, which I should really do now as well. Should have really prepared this, but never mind, that's fine. I can do this now, and then hopefully when we need it, it will be done already for us. And as you can see, the byproduct is slag from immersive engineering. And you can use the slag for concrete, which is just some clays and gravels and water if you wish to use concrete, which we may use concrete in the late future. But at the moment, I'm just going to hold off that at the moment. So I'm going to take the slag out there and just throw it in the chest, like so. We need to sort of like sort these chests out as well, though. They get a little bit full again. So yeah, so now that's out of the way, I want to concentrate on something else. So let's take a trip to our smeltery, and as you can see, I have 38 ingots of molten copper, which I'm going to need, I believe, I'm going to need 6 gears to allow us to make what we need. So 6 gears will go through 2 items. So it's going to be a lot of copper in this. So let's get ourselves 6 gears. We're going to need ourselves a machine frame. So we're going to need, I don't think we've actually made a machine frame yet, have we? No, I don't think we have. Thermal expansion machine frame, that's what we need. So we're going to need a tin gear. We're going to need 3 crushed obsidian. We're going to need ourselves a dense iron refined plate, which is the actual steel. So let me just take out this copper. We've got 16, how much copper we got left? We've got 14, so we can put one in a block form. So now we have 6 copper gears. Let's go and grab ourselves some of the crushed obsidian, which we may have in here, which we do. Nice. And we're going to throw it in our assembly table. Our carpenter, I should really put some water to this. Do we have any more of this transfer node pipe stuff? Where is the pipes? We've only got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That may be enough actually. Can we do this? If we knock this back wall out and put it along the back of this kinesis pipe and run it into the back of our carpenter here, as the carpenter requires water to run, will this work? I've never tried it this way. Doesn't look like it is. Is it working? So we've got water coming through. Maybe it's not filling. Oh, we do. Yep, there we go. So it's now automatically filled our carpenter up with water, which is good. We're going to need ourselves some 6 redstone with a tin ingot, and we're going to need to put ourselves a 6 in like so, and put it in the bottom with 1 tin, and that will give us the basic circuit board, which is now going ahead and making, as you can see, the beam coming away from our capacitor here, and we now have the circuit board. So we're going to throw that in our assembly table. We're going to need ourselves some more tin. We're going to need, where's our tin gone? There it is. So we're going to need 4 tin, and we need to put it in our smeltery. But I've got to make sure that we've got to get this copper out, otherwise it will turn it into bronze, which I do not want, because we have quite a bit of bronze, I believe. So we need to take this out. We'll take this block, transfer it into the ingot form, and we've only got 3 left, so we can just easily take that out. You may have noticed these pillars in the water as well from the oak pillars. I was trying to figure out a way of making a new base, and then I thought, I don't really want to have a square base or a sort of like a rectangle sort of base, because they're kind of boring. And then I thought, what would be quite interesting? And there is a block added in from, I think it's random things or extra utilities, which I want to get into to help us make a base. And that'll probably be next episode. Might be able to get it in this episode. I don't know. We'll have to see. And if I can, it's going to be pretty good. I don't know what kind of a base I'm wanting just yet, but I've got a rough idea. I want to keep it like a natural looking thing, like with wood, maybe a bit of leaves on it. I do like sort of like a naturey type looking sort of base. I don't know. I will see. But if you guys want me to do anything, just let me know in the comments below. That would be awesome. So we've got a crushed obsidian, we've got a basic circuit board with a tin gear, and I believe all we're missing is some steel, which is still cooking. I thought that might have been done cooking by now. I don't think we've got any more steel in here, which we don't. So what we're going to have to do is going to have to wait for that steel to cook before we can actually do our machine frame, but we could go ahead and do the other recipe. So we're going to need 2 silver with 1 gold, and we're going to need to have 6 pieces of redstone, and we're going to make ourselves some coils. So we need 1 redstone reception coil with 2 of these redstone transmission coils, like so. So I do believe it's like this with a machine frame in the center, or it could be like this. No, it's definitely that at the bottom, and we're going to need some more redstone, and let's get 9 to be exact. We're going to need some glass, which I already have here, and we're going to need ourselves some lead. So we're going to need 4 of those, and let's make ourselves a redstone block. Put it in, and then 4 glass with the actual lead on the outside, which will give us the leadstone energy cell from thermal expansion. And all we're waiting for is the steel. So we're going to have to wait for the steel. Let's sleep through the night. We're going to have to get the steel, pull it into plates, and then we can then go cook up our machine frame. Alright, our steel's almost done, and there we go. We now have a steel block, and as you can see, our creosote drum has now changed colour. It's gone like a greeny colour. I just literally gone ahead and just picked it up and threw it back down, and yeah, there we go. So it has updated, and I've just literally just taken out of all of our creosote from our oven, just so this coal coke can burn, well, this coal, not coal coke, the coal can burn up into coal coke, and we can just chuck it into our blast furnace for our steel blocks. So now that we have ourselves the block of steel, let's get our steel ingots and let's put it in our metal former. So we're going to need 9 metal plates, roll these down, and then throw it in our compressor to get ourselves the actual plate, like we did with the Tinker's Construct Forge. We now have ourselves the iron plates, and we're now putting it into the refined iron. And in our macerator, I just put some gravel in here, because we're going to need 16 pieces of flint as well, and you will see in just a second why we're going to need so many flint. So we have the dense refined iron plate. We'll throw it in our assembly table, and I do believe the only thing that we need left is an iron with a piece of redstone to get ourselves the iron chipset. So we'll do this, let that cook, and once we have that, it will then turn into the machine frame. I completely forgot I had to actually get this iron chipset. I don't think we've got anyone in here. No, we don't. We have 10 of these redstone chipsets. I don't think I've got any over here. Nope. Nope. No, I don't. Damn it. Okay, now we have the iron chipset. We can then just throw it in our assembly table, and note, we now have the machine frame basic ready to cook. So this is the basic machine frame you can do, and there's all types of different machine frames, but at the moment we're just going to keep with a basic, and we're going to click that, and this I believe takes quite a long time. Let's have a look. Machine frame, so you have a basic, a hardened, reinforced, or resonant, and as we're doing the basic, this requires 400,000 RF. So we're making this machine frame, so this is going to take a little while. So we may as well start on what we're going to need. So I might make ourselves another crafting table, which is quite easy to do. So let's get 2 of these oak woods and make ourselves another crafting station, and I'm just going to pop it right next to this one here. So we may as well start on a new thing for our new item that we've got here. So the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to have to make ourselves some coal chunks, and that is why we got this coal dust, and this is why we need so much flint. So hopefully, yes, there we go, it's now completely finished, and we now have 16 flint, and we need to put flint in layer like so and surround it with this coal dust, and this is 2 stacks of coal with 16 flint to get these coal balls. And what we need to do with these coal balls is put them in our compressor, and these will put them into coal chunks, and then we need to get 2 obsidian and place it in our crafting station and surround the obsidian with these coal chunks, which will just come in here in a second, or coal balls, what is it called, compressed coal balls. We surround the actual obsidian with these, and this will give us a coal chunk. Wow, these IC2 machines are so slow. Oh my god, it's so painful. We're up to 7 now, so we now have 8, and also our machine frame has now been cooked up and complete, and we can now go and place it in our crafting table the way we have it in our inventory here. So we need to do this with 2 of these copper gears and the machine frame, and we get ourselves the energetic infuser, which is from thermal expansion, and we're going to use this for the next thing that we're making here. Some of you guys probably know now what I'm making, but yeah, we're going to fill it up here, and we're now starting to see that we're getting some power coming into here. So this is going to drain from our capacitor quite rapidly. It holds 400,000 RF, so yeah, we're going to drain that pretty quick. So we're going to let that actually start to fill up. How is our coal balls? We've got 5 left, so we can make 1, I suppose, and this will get us the coal chunk. And we've got 3 here, and just let these next 4 cook. And almost there. So slow, so painful. And there we go, we now have 5, and we can complete this recipe, and we now have 2 coal chunks. And I'm going to put it in this one. This could be sort of like the end final crafting, if you like. And we're going to need 2 copper gears either side. I believe we're going to need 2 of these redstone chipsets, which we already have. We're going to need 4 copper ingots. We could use these ones. Yeah, I want to get rid of these industrial craft, because these Tinker's construct, they don't sort of stack with the industrial craft. I don't know why. So we'll do this, and what's the final thing? I completely forgot. We need 2 silver with 4 redstone. I've got 2, 4. There we go. And let's do this and this with the 2 silvers, and we get ourselves the redstone transmission coils, and we place it in there like so, and we get ourselves the steam dynamo, and we have 2 of those exactly. And this is not the final product. Oh no, we're not using the steam dynamo and using that to create power from this to the steam dynamos. No, this is the actual recipe for what we're building. Now, some of you guys probably now know what I'm now making, which is going to be awesome. You're probably going, hey, finally, we're nearly there. So we're going to need 4 of these, I believe. It's 4 of these. No, my mistake. We're going to need 2 redstone chipsets. We're going to need 4 redstone, like so. We're going to need, I believe we're going to need 2 leadstone plates, like that. And let's put it in our metal former, get 2 leadstone plates, and we're going to need ourselves a piece of glass. I should really get some more glass cooked up here. We don't have any glass at all. So we have a piece of glass. How's our plates doing? We've got 1 plate there. Put that and that. I just need this last plate. These are so slow, these IC2 machines. And like so. And we now have the leadstone flux ducts. So we can now use these to then sort of like transport power instead of these kinesis pipes. But that's not what we're going to do. I believe we have to put 2 in like so, like this. And then we're going to need ourselves the gold with 4 of these redstones. And make ourselves the redstone transmission coils. We're going to put them at the top. We're going to need another 8 leads. So let's do 8 and put it around the edges like this. And I think it's 2 redstones, I think. Yes, there we go. And what this is, it's a leadstone thruster. And it's from Simply Jetpacks, and that is correctly what we're making. If we take a look at leadstone down here, you can see the leadstone jetpack requires these 2 leadstone thrusters. So we're going to need some more lead, which is quite easily to do. We've got a ton of lead in our chest here, so we need 4 lead. Like so. And let's grab ourselves the leadstone flux capacitor, which is 3 electrolyte, 2 copper, 1 lead and sulfur, which I believe we have everything we need. So 2 lead. Is it 2 lead or was it 1? I completely forgot. 1 lead. Okay. So 1 lead. We need 2 copper, which we'll use this industrial craft 2 copper. We're going to need 3 electrolytes, and I think that's it. So sulfur, 2 of these, 1 lead with 3 electrolytes. We get ourselves the leadstone flux capacitor, And all we're going to need now is ourselves a strap, which we have the leather here. We need 2 iron, and I think it's like this, I believe it was. Yes, the leather strap, and we should now have the leadstone jetpack. Yes, and this is only a tier 1. So this is the very basic leadstone jetpack you can get, and it's it only holds 25,000 RF. And what we can do with that is just chuck it on our back here, and you can see it on our screen there. And if we take a look at us, we now have a leadstone jetpack strapped to our back. Nice. And it doesn't have any protection. It's got protection 6, but I want to put some plates on this for armor. And to do that, we need to get some iron armor plating, which is just 5 ingots of iron with tin around the outside, which is fairly easy, I'm not gonna lie. So let's do 5 of those with 4 tin, and let's just do this and this, and we get ourselves the iron armor plating. Take this out and put it in our crafting grid, and there we go. We now have a leadstone jetpack which now is armored, and what we can do with this is take it over to our energetic infuser, place it in like so, and as you can see, it's now starting to charge up with RF, and you can see it's pulling a lot of power. Our capacitor's almost empty. It's not terribly bad, but it's almost empty, and it's now full. Throw it on our back, just right click, and as you can see, let's go outside. We now have flight, guys. We can now fly around our world. That is awesome. And there is something else I want to make that will help us fly around, because we're not actually traveling that fast. So I'm going to need to look for some cows around here. So we have some pigs. Oh, there's some cows over here. Yes. So we need to look for some cows. We need to go get some leather. I don't know how much leather we're going to need. So I might just kill, like, I don't know, maybe 3 cows maybe. So come here, pass me your leather. So we've got 2 there. Let's go down here. I should really make a cow farm soon. That may not be terrible. And let's just get this one. He didn't drop any, so we've got 4. I don't know whether 4 will be enough. Possibly. Let's just kill him. There we go. So we got 6. I believe that may be enough, because we do have some imp hide back in our base that we got from the nether, which we can turn it into leather as well. And what we're going to make is it will make us a lot easier to fly around the world at the moment, because it's kind of slow, isn't it? It's great, don't get me wrong, it's great that we now have flight, but it's not actually fantastic, is it? So let's grab ourselves the imp hide. If you put it in your crafting grid like so, yes, we can now change it into leather. We're going to need some sticks as well. Sticks. Let's transform these logs into planks and get ourselves 1, 2, I think we're going to need 6. Not entirely sure. So I'm going to need to do this with 2 sticks. There we go. And we get ourselves a glider wing. And we put them in like so with a stick. And we get ourselves the hang glider from open blocks. And some of you guys know what this is. And for some that you don't, you grab your hang glider, go as far high and far up in the air as you want. And we're going to go to this pole actually, because I want to take this down, because that looks ugly. And I said to you guys that we want to take this down, and I think now's the time. Just right click, let go of your space bar to sort of fly up in the air, and you just sort of like go around your world and just glide around. And we're not using energy from our jetpack either. So this is, oh, we've got a king slime somewhere. He's probably up there. There's a king slime around. As you can see, there's a bar at the top, so we might need to go and find that king slime somewhere. I can't believe we now have a jetpack. That is awesome, guys. So let me just tear down this cobblestone pole that we sort of like pole our way up to this slime island. Well guys, I'm going to end here. I do hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I hope I didn't sort of like pee you off, that I didn't really tell you guys what I was making. Now that we have a jetpack, it's going to be awesome, guys. Honestly, it's going to be absolutely brilliant. And now that, like I said, now we've got the jetpack, it's going to be a hell of a lot easier to make ourselves a new base which hopefully on next episode that is exactly what we're going to do. And I'm kind of happy that we tore down that sort of cobblestone pole that was sort of going up to the slime island. That was really hideous and it was really getting on my nerves. So now that we have a jetpack and we also have a hang glider, I'm pretty happy now that we have that on episode 7 of Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved. That is awesome. There we go, hang glider. Awesome. Do hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, and of course if you have, be sure to hit that like button, and if you're new to my channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and like and share my videos. That would be brilliant. And when we come back on next episode, hopefully in the middle of this sort of like lake, we're gonna build like a sort of a base maybe? I don't know. Let's see what we can do.